Crime in Chicago continues to make headlines with dozens of people shot, and you got 13 people killed over just the span of 2 weeks. And I connected with Chicago reporter William Kelly to talk about that and other headlines out of Chicago, and he gives us a breakdown of what exactly is going on in the Windy City. Here's William Kelly talking about the latest headlines in crime from over the weekend.
Yeah, the crime in Chicago is off the charts, and it's not just citizens. It's police officers, retired police officers, decorated former, people who survived Vietnam come back to Chicago and get shot dead. Even the state's attorney, believe it or not, I've been the victim of multiple assaults by multiple attackers, so I don't wish this on anyone. But believe it or not, Greg, breaking news, Kim Fox was the victim, alleged victim of an assault last night in her community. She was crossing the street and apparently got into an altercation. She was a pedestrian with somebody who didn't like the way she was walking or gesturing, making some kind of hand gesture at him in a crosswalk. And he threw, allegedly, a big gulp, Greg, on our Cook County State's Attorney, Kim Fox. The only thing that's different about this particular crime that I can see from every other person who gets assaulted or in the city of Chicago is apparently charges are being filed in the case of the Kim Fox alleged assault. And this is, like I said, it's no laughing matter. If it wouldn't be a laughing matter if Kim Fox showed the same, Kim Fox office had the same standard for every other victim of assault. We had a couple in Streeterville that were violently assaulted to the point where a baby was literally stomped out of the woman's womb. I think there was some misdemeanor charge against the perpetrators of that assault, and there seems to be a very, very, very different standard of what constitutes assault in the city of Chicago currently, the county of Cook. If you're just a regular citizen or if you are an office holder, Greg.
So talking with William this morning, of course, after having 2 weeks go by, you've got the number of violent crimes that have happened, just the tally that I was able to put together, 13 killed in 2 weeks and more than 100 people shot in that 2-week span. And Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson has a summer safety plan. Is that working? And if it's not working, who's at fault for it not working?
Well, Greg, as if you can't make this stuff up. I think it's becoming a catchphrase now. There's, I guess when racism doesn't, work as an excuse for Johnson, now he's blaming, believe it or not, Lightfoot. He's going back over a year now because he has been mayor. Okay. I remember the days when if you were mayor of the city of Chicago, you owned it from day one. You hit the ground running. You went straight to that 5th floor of City Hall. You pulled in all the department heads, and you said, listen, I don't want any crime. I don't want any potholes. I don't want any snow. I don't want any cracks on the sidewalk, or else it's going to be you that's going to be in trouble. And that was the way the city worked for many, many, many decades. And I remember it well. I was a lifelong Chicagoan, and I loved it. Okay? I don't know what the heck is going on in City Hall right now, but it sure as hell ain't that, Greg.
So it's not just the violent crime, it's also vandalism that has been taking place in Chicago. You've got Buckingham Fountain that was closed for a day or so because of vandalism. And you've got WBBM in Chicago reporting that the fountain was turned blood red. And there was even some graffiti that was posted saying, Gaza is bleeding. What does this portray for what could happen at the Chicago Democratic National Convention?
Well, that's a perfect example, Greg. There you go. There you go again, Greg. If they can't protect Buckingham Fountain, how are they going to protect the city of Chicago from DNC protests? So Chicago is clearly not ready for the DNC. And I'm not even 100% sure the DNC is ready for Chicago. I mean, it's a two-way street, Greg. You know, but here's the bottom line. Again, I don't want to joke, but it's so absurd. You know, all these protesters had to do was call up the plumbers union and say, "Hey, do you have any of that any red dye that we can turn the water red to symbolize blood?" I think was what they were going for, and that will not damage the fountain. Okay, the plumbers, they're the ones who pull off the dyeing of the river green every year. I'm sure they would have said, here's some red dye, okay? I mean, come on. This is it's not helping anyone's cause to damage a beloved Chicago monument, okay? So even if it was a gift from the Queen of England, which I don't know, maybe the plumbers would have seen a little irony in that. I don't know, but here's the bottom line. It's it means that the Chicago's clearly not ready to protect the DNC. We keep hearing from the from the mayor and from the governor that there will be protection bubbles. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I actually find that offensive. That they're going to have safety bubbles for DNC gala party guests, but they don't have a safety bubble for the citizens of Chicago. I find that offensive, Greg.
Again, thanks to William Kelly for connecting this morning and giving us a rundown of some of the headlines out of Chicago from the past 2 weeks. And, of course, violent crime topping those headlines and a variety of other headlines as well. So we'll definitely talk with William in the near future. It's Bishop on Air. Thanks for hanging out. I was off the past week, so if those of you who were looking for videos, I decided to take that time off and do some home projects. So appreciate you guys checking back in, all right? And like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's Bishop on Air.